What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mr. Joe's Baseball Show. Today, I've got another episode of Mario Superstar Baseball Basics. We're going to be talking about the abilities in this game. There are 9 different abilities, as well as 2 features or traits that characters have as well. Going to be breaking them down for you, letting you know everything there is to know about all of them. But before we do that, I'm doing the YouTube shill. If we can get this video to 50 likes, this is so stupid, but I will put out another episode of Baseball Basics on Friday. We'll do it on Friday. It's Tuesday today, so Friday we'll have another episode of Baseball Basics. And if we can get the channel to 350 subscribers by then, I'll put out another one on Sunday. So Friday and Sunday, 50 likes, 350 subscribers. That's enough of that. I'm going to throw up in my own mouth. Let's get into the video. So whether it's, jumping off a wall, jumping super high, throwing the ball really fast when someone's running home, each character has one of these different abilities. There are 9 in specific, as well as a couple of traits that I'll talk about after the abilities. I get through those. Also, one more thing about abilities is that each character has 1 ability, unless they are a captain, in which case they have 2 abilities. Now, there is one exception to this. Toadette, greatest character in this game. Toadette has 2 abilities, but she is not a captain, so she is the one exception to that rule. Otherwise, all captains have 2, all non-captains have 1. So, to start off, we're going to talk about the super jump ability. So, I'm going to hop into a game with a bunch of super jumpers, and we'll show you what it looks like. So here I've got a handful of the super jumpers in the game. There are a couple of others, and I'll give you the rundown right now. You have King Boo, Boo, Paragoomba, Paratroopa, as you can see here, as well as Waluigi and Luigi. So, as you can see here, a character with super jump can jump very high. You can see the little sparkles that show up next to the super jump character. That is just showing that they have super jump. Now, not all super jumpers are created equal. As you can see, this is the jump height for a character like Boo, while Paragoomba can jump much higher than that. And that's not just a perspective thing here. I'll put them next to each other. You can see Paragoomba definitely gets higher than Boo there. So the super jump ability is pretty useful for characters on the corner bases, because if you have someone on the corner base and a ball is hit down the third or first base line, a super jump will most likely be able to catch that because they could jump so high. Most characters' jump heights are about half this. There are some variations. Every character's jump height is different, which is why, as you can see, even with the super jumpers, someone like Paragoomba jumps so much higher, or not so much, but definitely jumps higher than characters like Boo. King Boo seems to be pretty close to Para, but you can see Boo's is much, much shorter than Para's here. So that's something to look out for. Super jumpers definitely most useful on the corner bases. However, they can be used at the outfield wall as well, because if there is a home run that is close to the wall, you may be able to jump and rob that home run. Usually you won't really see too many super jumpers in the outfield, because generally they aren't super fast, which is more important. But sometimes you might see Paratroopa in left field. You may see Luigi in right field for various reasons. Super jump, not really the main attraction there. It's kind of just a bonus for him. But yeah, that's what we're looking at super jump for. Nothing too flashy here. The ability is exactly what it looks like. You are just jumping rather high. Okay, so if you've played Mario Superstar Baseball, you know that one of the most frustrating things in the game is bobbling. However, with Super Catch characters, that is no longer a problem. There are only a handful of characters that have this ability in the game. They are Peach, Diddy Kong, and Toadsworth. You can see my 3 characters right here. And basically what Super Catch is, it just means that the character is incapable of bobbling the ball. You can't really see it here because I'm just throwing the ball around, but the character will always catch the ball without bobbling, and they will not be knocked back by strong hits when they catch the ball. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little example of what it looks like when a Super Catch character catches the ball. You'll see some sparkles show up. That means that the character had Super Catch and that they are not able to bobble. You see that right there? That is Super Catch. So what that will do on a charge swing, if you catch the ball as a normal fielder, you'll be pushed back by the force of the hit. However, with Super Catch, you won't be pushed back at all, which allows you to act more quickly, and there's a better chance of throwing someone out for maybe a double play or just preventing a tag up, things like that. So those are the uses of Super Catch. Also, just having the assurance of the no bobble is always nice, because there is always a percent chance that a character will bobble. There's only so much you could do. You can jump catch, but that's not always an option. But having super catch is 100% assurance that you will never bobble the ball as long as it is hit into your hands. Okay, so here I am in the free batting and base running mode. This is the easiest way to show off body check, and although this ability can be kind of inconsistent, it is always the most exciting to watch. So what body check does is, on a close play, when it's not a force out, you can body check, literally, the fielder, and they'll get knocked away with the ball, and your character will be safe, and you'll have the opportunity to advance another base potentially, sometimes even score a run. It's very exciting to watch, although it is not very consistent. It is very cool to see. So the characters with body check are Toad, funny enough, Wario, Birdo, Bowser, all three of the bros, Bowser Jr., and Petey Piranha. So I'm going to show you a bit of body check here. It can be kind of hard to trigger against the CPU, but basically if you just keep running the bases against them, it will eventually work. So we're stealing, and then we're going to get into a rundown. When he throws back, I will turn around, and usually this will allow you to trigger it. And there's a successful body check. As you can see, I am able to run to the next base now. I did get tagged out. It is a little finicky. I don't think you can stop before getting to the base like I did there. Some of the secrets of body check are still unknown to us, but I'll get another successful one here for you. And here should be one right here. Bowser will trigger it, and he got the successful body check. Now we go to third, probably going to get another one here. Unfortunately not. So as you can see, body check is not super consistent, but when it does work, it gives you the potential to score extra runs, get extra bases, things like that. It is just a very, it's a very fun ability to have in this game. It's definitely something interesting, and as you can see, Bowser seems to be getting it all day today, and he is just running the bases. And this is just why, that's why body check's fun. You could do things like that. No other ability is going to let you run all the bases in one go. Just Alright, so the next ability I'm going to show off to you today is a personal favorite of mine. One of the funniest abilities in the game, in my opinion, Ball Dash. Now, as you can see, my team's kind of comprised of a lot of Monty Mole and a lot of Goomba, and that's because these are the only two characters that have Ball Dash in the game. And what is Ball Dash, you may ask? Well, when a character with Ball Dash is holding the ball, they're able to run at a bit ridiculous speeds. And I'll show you here. I'm just going to put a runner on base so that I'm able to take the ball off the mound, go for a pickoff, and by pressing the B button, I can now Ball Dash around like this. It's very silly. I'm going to go like this, then I'm just going to move the runner off the base so that I can show you. But with Ball Dash, you are able to just run at insane speeds while holding the ball. This is faster than any other character can move in the whole game. You can see the trail showing up. The dirt is because I'm dashing. This is normal speed, just normal running. And then this is when you dash. You can see that the speed's pretty crazy there. And again, this ability belongs only to Monty Mole and to Goomba. You can see here goes Monty. I personally prefer Monty because look at the way he runs. He's a very goofy guy. Let's see if he does that little trot again. I like when he does the trot. He's not going to do it. Oh, there he is. Yeah, so Monty and Goomba are the only characters with this ability. This is basically the gist of it. The advantages of having Ball Dash are, one, with the pitcher, as you just saw, I was able to come off the mound with Ball Dash. You could stop steals like that. And when you get into a rundown, if you have a Ball Dash character on first base, if I'm in a pickle and Diddy Kong tries to go to second but he decides he wants to go back, well, I throw it to my Ball Dash character and then I just run him down. You know, you can't outrun that. So that's the advantage of having Ball Dash. It's a fun little ability. Nothing crazy about it. The two characters that have it aren't very good, so you don't see it too often, but it is a cute little fun ability that's very fun to watch. The next ability I'm going to be showing you is what a lot of people consider to be one of the best, if not the best ability in the game, and that ability is Laser Beam. So Laser Beam is an ability that will only trigger if there is a runner on third, or as you can see here, a runner on their way home from third base, so third base line essentially. Laser Beam is an ability that allows the fielder to throw the ball much stronger than they normally would be able to. In fact, they throw it 30% stronger than a normal throw from that character. As you can see here, there's a sparkle trail behind it, and the ball is thrown very, very fast compared to what a normal throw might be. So, if you just to give you a little example, that's a normal DK throw. It's still pretty strong, but the laser throw, as you can see, it's going a further distance in essentially the same amount of time. So that's how you know it's a bit faster, 30% faster. The characters with laser are only 4 of them in the game. There is Waluigi, Donkey Kong, as you just saw, Bowser, and Bowser's, as you can see, going kind of crazy there. And the last one, who I don't think I can get, there we go, is Pianta. So out of these characters, Pianta does have the strongest arm normally. He has an 80 power arm, while Waluigi has, I believe, 50, Donkey Kong has 70, and Bowser has 70, so Pianta's is the strongest, while Waluigi's is by far the weakest. And Waluigi's arm is actually worse than some characters' normal arms, even with the laser, so that's something to consider. But those are your characters with laser. This ability is considered so strong because basically, if you put a character with laser as your cutoff, which would be your second baseman or your shortstop, which you very commonly see these two characters on screen here, DK and Pianta, you can often hit the cutoff from your outfield and then throw home with very fast speeds, often preventing runs or even getting out sometimes. So having a character with laser is very, very powerful to have as your shortstop, which DK is basically the best shortstop in the game, laser being one of the reasons. And as you can see here, with Pianta catcher, DK gets the chemistry boost as well, while Pianta, you might see it here, has a chance to get anti-chemistry with PD, which can be bad with laser. It pulls him off the base paths there a bit. So that is something to consider when using Pianta and PD, but really laser is just such a strong ability because it's really, really good at preventing runs and keeping players in check. I don't know why Bowser's just going so crazy fast. I've actually never noticed that before. I thought they were all a 30% boost, but maybe there's some trickery. Maybe it's because he's at third base. Let's take a look at that. You might be discovering something right now. Yeah, I think it's because he's at third base. Alright, so it's not Bowser, it just happens to be a shorter distance thing, it seems much faster. So yeah, that's all the characters with laser. As you can see, it's a very, very formidable ability, and it is pretty exclusive, only being on 4 characters. So definitely an ability you want to consider putting in your infield. It's a very strong thing that you don't want to be missing out on. The next ability we're going to talk about is one that is exclusive to the princesses of this game, both Peach and Daisy. So that ability is called Quick Throw. Quick Throw is an ability that allows the fielder to release the ball after catching it much more quickly. As you can see, there's a very quick catch and release here on this ball. Specifically, it is, I believe, 12 frames faster than a normal catch and release, which allows to turn some double plays that you might not normally see. There used to be a lot of debate about whether Wario or Daisy was a better shortstop, or rather a second baseman. Now, while those debates are not solved, because the characters do have their benefits and their flaws, Daisy having Quick Throw allows her to turn more double plays, because when you catch the ball, you are able to release it much more easily. So on a double play ball, something that's hit maybe at the shortstop, you can see something like this with the quick release, which is much better than a character that doesn't have Quick Throw. As you can see, I'll throw to Luigi here. It takes a much longer time to release the ball than a character like Peach does. And you can really just tell the difference there. Peach basically slaps the ball back at him, while you do have to see the exchange for Luigi. So the biggest benefit of Quick Throw is turning double plays, because if you hit a line drive at a Quick Throw character, they're able to just knock it right back at the base that someone was running back to before the runner is even able to get their runners back. You can't react to it. It's just too fast. Turning double plays is the strong suit of Quick Throw. Alright, the next ability I'm going to show you here is Clamber. This ability is not super relevant in the competitive scene because Mario Stadium doesn't really have a use for it, and that's the only stadium we play on competitively, but I will show you anyway. The characters with Clamber, Dixie Kong, Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi, of course, the 4 Kongs, are able to climb up walls like this and catch balls that may be close to the top. As you can see, it looks a little silly there, just going back and forth across the wall, but that is what Clamber does, and he actually will just stay up there. I can do it with Dixie Kong as well. You're able to go up and down the wall. This ability is useful on stadiums that have high walls, such as Peach's Garden, Bowser's Castle, because you are actually able to scale the higher walls. But on Mario Stadium, the highest you can get is right here, which usually a character can just jump that high anyway. As you can see, top of my hitbox gets to about the top of the wall. And then with Clamber, which can kind of be a pain to activate, it actually may be lower with Clamber, who knows. Clamber allows you to basically just catch balls that might have been home runs, but it's not super useful on this stadium because, like I just showed you, you can kind of just jump. Okay, now, for one of the most important abilities in the game, we have Wall Jump. This is an ability that a lot of people struggle with actually activating, so I'm going to give you a little bit of tips on how to do it. But first, I'm just going to show you what a Wall Jump looks like. So, as you can see here, this is a home run ball, but of course I can't catch it, but the double tap of the A press allows me to jump off the wall and attempt to catch the ball. This is unfortunately a little too high, but I will continue to show you what a wall jump looks like. As you can see, I go into a different animation there, and Luigi, he jumps off the wall, as the ability's name would state, wall jump. Now, this was an uncatchable hit, unfortunately, so Luigi's not able to catch it, but this is the ability being triggered, as you can see, the ball seems to go through Luigi. That is an issue of the character where his super jump makes it appear as though he's going higher than he actually is during his wall jump. But this is what a wall jump looks like. Now, the way to activate it is you want to be dashing towards the wall by pressing B, and then you want to press the A button about when you get to the warning track. You can press it, and you'll do a wall jump like that. I personally prefer to double tap the A button because I find it to be more consistent, but it does definitely work with a single A press. I'm actually testing it right now. So, again, dash toward the wall. You want to be going in a relatively straight line, or sometimes you'll get something like that, where you just dive into the wall. Because if you're going on a diagonal, something like this, you're not going to get it. You can go at the wall diagonally, and you'll be able to trigger the wall jump like that. But it's not going to be as easy, and generally it's easier if you're going directly at the wall. But again, if you're kind of changing your direction, it can be hard to trigger the wall jump. So your best bet, go straight at the wall, double tap the A button while dashing, or a single tap if you prefer that. It doesn't make a difference. You may as well double tap it. I find that works best. You find out what works best for you. It's kind of hard to test it. As you can see, it was kind of hard for me to set up a situation to test it in. But that is how you trigger wall jump. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show you a successful wall jump, which I would really like to. But that is the case right now. I can try to show you a successful one right now. Let's see if I can manage to get that done. I can't. Don't even worry about it. That's wall jump, one of the best abilities in the game. It's capable of robbing home runs. Characters that have it are Mario, Luigi, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Toadette, and Bowser Jr. Out of those characters, Toadette generally is the best at doing it, since she is both the fastest and the biggest of those characters, so she's able to cover the most ground. But all the characters are solid at it, especially Mario and Luigi, since they are just overall great characters. Okay, and for the final ability in Mario Superstar Baseball we're going to be talking about, it'll be Sliding Catch. So Sliding Catch is an ability that allows a character to have a bit of a better dive than they normally would. For a long time, we were lost on what Sliding Catch actually does. Some people thought it did nothing, but it turns out, as of a recent discovery by Little Cokes, we know that Sliding Catch has a purpose. Now, I don't have the information up on screen because it's from an unreleased version of training mode, but basically what it shows is that when a character with Sliding Catch dives for a ball, they move more quickly than a character without Sliding Catch, and they will also magnet toward the ball. So I'm going to try to show you that right now. I'm going to make a save state there. When I press the A button as Mario, he walks right to the ball and does that on his own. As you can see, I'm not pressing any directional input, just an A press. He runs right for the ball and catches it. Now, taking Luigi, if I'm standing in the same spot and I do an A press, he's going to jump. Now, if anybody knows, Mario and Luigi, they have the same dive range, but for some reason here, Mario is going all the way for that ball, while Luigi, he's not doing anything. And the reason for that is that Luigi does not have Sliding Catch, while Mario does. So, you see, Luigi has to be much closer there to actually go for the Sliding Catch, or go for the dive, like that. While with Mario, I could be all the way back here. And something else we discovered about it is that while the character is in motion, they actually pick up speed. So a character has a top speed while running, but when you activate Sliding Catch, they actually get a boost in speed, while a normal character will actually decrease in speed when they dive for the ball. So that's something to consider, which usually will mean the character is more capable of getting to balls in the outfield when they're in the air, stuff like that, because they are getting this boost, and also they seem to magnet to the ball. And now, when I say magnet, I don't just mean, oh, I'm pretty far away from the ball. That was a pretty far distance for him to trigger it from. But That's actually ridiculous. Look at this. I'm all the way over here. Let's see the closest I have to be. Right there. That's the distance at which he's going to trigger sliding catch from. Any character will magnet to the ball when you input a dive, but the sliding catch characters have a much further activation range. Now, while we're talking about sliding catch, I do want to talk about a couple other characters in this game, and those are Birdo, Yoshi, and Magikoopa. So these three characters have abilities that are sliding catch adjacent, I guess you could say, because they're not labeled as sliding catch, but they are all ranged catches. Now, they don't get the benefit of the speed boost when you dive with them. Birdo actually stops in place when she dives, and Yoshi gets a bit of a jolt forward, but he doesn't get the continual speed boost like a sliding catch character would. Now, these abilities are very strong. Everybody knows that Yoshi's tongue is the longest dive in the game. It is ridiculous. But they're not exactly sliding catch, so I kind of just wanted to tack them on at the end. Magikoopa's magical catch actually doesn't have a great range, but it kind of goes behind him a bit. And then Yoshi's tongue has a crazy range, and he does a bit of a skip forward, while Birdo's suck, she actually stops in place. So sometimes she may have a little less range there than Yoshi would, but she's still able to make crazy plays. So those are, sliding catch adjacent. They don't actually move the character out of their spot. The character will stop in place and then go get the ball rather than the character moving to the ball. So that's something to consider when thinking about which you prefer. But I'll tell you this much, you should always be preferring Yoshi Tongue because that ability is absolutely insane. So that is the last of the abilities in Mario Superstar Baseball. However, there are two more things that I wanted to show you about the game. Oh, and before I forget, the following characters are the ones who have sliding catch. Wario, Mario, Toadette, Daisy, Koopa, Shy Guy, Drybones, and Noki. All of those characters with color variants. Each color variant has sliding catch. And then the honorable mentions, I guess you could say, the sliding catch adjacent characters. Yoshi Tongue, Birdo Suction, Magikoopa, Magical Catch. Alright, so even though I'm done talking about abilities in this game, there are some features or traits, you could say, that characters have that aren't shown on that abilities list. One of those being curved trajectory on hits. There are only 3 characters in the game that have them. They are Boo, King Boo, and specifically Boomerang Bro. So having this curved trajectory, as you will see, when I hit the ball with Boo, it travels on a curve. Pretty straightforward, right? This is actually a very, very strong thing to have on a character because it allows characters like Boo to get doubles with just a slap hit. Now, granted, you can't get hits like that, which is obviously not great, but you're able to kind of slice the ball down the line out of reach from the outfielders, and it goes right into the corner like that. Now, that hit, that's going to be a double for Boo. Against a real fielder, that may not be, but that is just an example of what a hit looks like that could land as a double with Boo. Now, Boomerang Bro and King Boo do not benefit from it as strongly as Boo might, because Boo is a character that's trying to get singles mostly, while the curved trajectory on the home runs, while not a bad thing, is not as helpful as hitting the ball into the corners with a character like Boo. So this curved trajectory can really help a character get extra base hits. It can help you get hits in general. Sometimes it'll split the gap, things like that. And it's just generally a good thing to have on a character. And I'll go ahead now and I will show you Boomerang Bro's curved trajectory. Because with Boomerang Bro, you can go for both slap hits or charge hits, going for home runs or just singles. And it allows Boomer to kind of get those doubles that you might see with Boo sometimes. His bat is a bit smaller, so it's a little harder to make contact, but you can see it has that curve as well. Now, I know you're seeing this and you're watching, you're like, oh, Mr. Joe, you're just, you're hitting every ball into the corner right at a fielder. This is horrible. That's just because I'm being bad at the game right now. But you can see that curve. Boomerang Bro's slap hit is not nearly as good as Boo's. Boo's slap hit is just a league of its own. It doesn't compare to anything. But Boomerang does kind of have the sauce as well, and I'm going to get one more good one, I promise. That's pretty good. See, he got the fielder glitch there. It's going to move the runner to third. That's a nice hit. And just to show you guys that it exists on the charge swing as well, I'll go ahead and knock one out of the park if Luigi doesn't try to pick me off. Alright, well, it's foul. One thing to note about the curved trajectory, you're going to hit a lot of foul balls. And I actually got bad contact there, but just showing it off there, you do see that the ball travels on a curve there. So, yeah, that's about all there is for curve trajectory. Let me know, there's still more to the video, but let me know if you guys learned anything new this video. I know this is kind of just going over, the basic features of Mario Superstar Baseball, but there are always little hidden quirks about the abilities that people might not know. So if you learned something new, drop a comment about it. We got one more thing, though, to show you about Mario Superstar Baseball. Okay, so I've gathered these characters here today to show you one of the features in Mario Superstar Baseball that's hidden from the abilities list, and that is known as Wall Splat. So what is Wall Splat, you may ask? Oh, well, Wall Splat is an ability that a handful of characters have, including the ones you see on the screen here, where if you jump into the wall with them, they splat onto it. It's very funny. All of these characters have it. They all have animations for it when they're falling off the wall. It's all very silly. It's kind of hard to show with Bones, so I probably won't show with Bones. No, actually I can. Nice. So yeah, all these characters have Wall Splat. It's a very silly ability. It's not a good thing, This is definitely not something that you want to see. But it is something these characters have. They kind of magnet to the wall, get stuck to it, and they're in a bit of lag for, a few seconds at least. So it's something to consider when you're picking characters for your outfield. You probably don't want a character that has Wall Splat. It will only trigger when you dash into the wall and jump, because you can see I can jump. Oh, maybe you have to be okay, so you have to be moving into the wall. It doesn't have to be a dash. But if I'm against the wall, I can jump all I want, but once I come off the wall, I will get wall splatted. So a bit of a funny ability here. There's not much to it. Just, I guess, be wary of putting wall splat characters in your outfield. It doesn't come up often, but I guess it is something to consider if you're not careful about when you're jumping into the wall. Characters that have wall splat include Monty Mole, Bowser, Bro, Petey, Pianta, Wario, Bones, Birdo, Toadsworth, King Boo, and I believe Boo as well. King Boo isn't actually listed, but, I mean, as you can see, he definitely is doing it. So, those are your characters with Wall Splat. It's a silly little thing. There's not much to it. Just, I guess, avoid putting them in your outfield. That is the final ability I have to show you guys today. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, 50 likes and we get Baseball Basics for Mario, and 350 subs and we get another Baseball Basics for something else, haven't decided yet, on Sunday. So remember, like the video, subscribe if you're not already, and thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time.